make me feel right. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. Don't need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good girl. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how that the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now. But I'm done waiting, done wasting my time. That the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how. Rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you, I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how that the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. Don't need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good girl. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how that the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now. But I'm done waiting, done wasting my time. That the sweet talk. I'm already
Hello, everybody. Happy to see you. This is going to be a good day, guys. We've had a lot of good stuff coming out as far as earnings so far, which means we haven't had a bad time out here. We're going to be looking at the Gann fan levels again because we had an important bounce yesterday. We didn't break down below it. We already know we already broke down below the trend line, so technically Bitcoin is still bearish. We know this, but what have we been saying? The only way we're going to go up right now is if earnings are good and whales kind of pump us up, and that's really what we're looking for, guys. That's really what we need. I don't want to be reliant on whales, but at this point, we kind of have to, okay? I was on Twitter today, And you guys know how I don't normally tweet as much and stuff like that. I saw a lot of the crypto guys that have been pumping up Bitcoin saying we're going to go up, 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 and we weren't going to go down another level here, kind of backtracking a little bit. And I kind of happy about that, so it gives people some more realistic expectations about where we can go. It doesn't mean we can't break out and go up higher, guys, but it's not dependent on the technicals right now, and that's really the thing that's going to drive a lot of you guys nuts, because a lot of you guys have spent a lot of time with me learning technicals. Right now, technicals is probably only like 50% of the equation right now. A lot of it seems to be about what earnings are coming out this week, especially tomorrow with the tech earnings coming out, NASDAQ. And then on top of that, are certain countries taking more aggressive actions towards Bitcoin and crypto? I don't think we're going to see too much of that, just kind of more fluff and more news articles just to drive clicks and, get money through clicks and stuff like that. But overall, guys, let's talk a little bit about these Gann levels and where we can be going from here. First of all, we have the weekly one over here. Now, this weekly one, I'll kind of just reintroduce it. We're using the lows from 2018 after this last crash here. This is a fresh chart, so don't worry about the moving averages here. Just focus on the Gann fans. We bounced off of the first one right down here. Perfectly nice, held. And again, this is on the weekly chart. At this moment in time, you guys really don't have to worry about this one. We're not close to resistance. We're not close to support. We're kind of just in that middle range. So if you guys are looking for a larger move, like if we break down below this, that's where things get really nasty. But until we do, you can feel comfortable buying right now. I am buying for longer term swings, no technical swings right now. I'm just buying for the sake of buying crypto, because I still think under 40,000, which was the the dip over the last few days, that's still a good buying price. Over 40,000, sure, go for it. I'm just I'm cheap, I'm frugal, whatever you want to call it. I want to make sure that all my money is going to the right place. All right, let's move over here to the other weekly one. Instead of using the 2018 lows over here, we've moved over to the 2020 lows to make the Gann levels. And you can see there's a little bit more of a different story here. So we've really been following this blue one right here. We bounced off of that one and this one. It holds a little bit. It's been kind of all over the place. We break above it, holds, then we break down, then it's resistance, then we break out above it. Now it's back to being support. So if you wanted to, you could actually just kind of ignore this one for now, even though I wouldn't. I'd focus more, guys, on this pink line right there. That seems to be something that's going to be pretty interesting for us to watch. And if I switch off of the actually weekly chart and go over to the daily, you'll see over the last couple weeks, it's been pretty nice as far as that level of support. And then you're only seeing this blue line come into place over the past week or so. Bounce, 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 never close down below it. We're still in a good spot. If yesterday or, excuse me, just a few hours ago, we had actually closed down below this, that would have symbolized us moving down to a whole different quadrant where the lows are, let's just say, a lot different. That's where things get really rough. I think we will eventually break down below this, but we have an opportunity to kind of prolong that effect or that move if we have a good earnings report tomorrow, especially for some of those tech companies, okay? But yeah, this is one right here. If you guys want to copy this down, I have a couple of videos that talk about Gann levels. But this is the Gann level starting from the lows back in 2020 and going up to the $69,000 highs here, okay? Let's go back over a little bit more. Which one I want to go next to? Is this? Yeah, okay. Kind of going different times here. So here's another weekly chart. This one's going after last summer's lows, all right? So 2021. We stopped right here, perfectly found nice little support after all this head and shoulders massive moves. I mean, that's about as good of a price target right there as you could have gotten. Right now, as far as this one's concerned, kind of going back to the first one, we are seeing a little bit more of no man's land action going on here. We do have support. I think this week, from a practical standpoint, we should have a decent recovery, maybe back up to like 42,000, maybe even higher than that. If whales can kind of boost this back up again, it's not going to matter so much about technicals this week. It's going to matter more about earnings and what we can see from any big news coming out in whales, especially popping this up here. If you guys followed me on Twitter, you guys noticed a couple weeks or a couple days ago I said, hey, Bitcoin hasn't had 4 down weeks since all the way back over here. Excuse me. Way back over here in June of 2020, and it looks more like that, not as drastic of a move. But the last time we had 5 downward weekly candles, guys, it was a long time ago, so maybe we do have to take a little bit of breather here. This isn't going off of technicals, this is kind of going off of a pattern of how likely things are to, how likely we are to see a move like that. So let's go back in time just a little bit. When's the last time we saw us making 5 downward weekly candles here. There's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3. Nope. I mean, it's been a while, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't skip over anything. 5 downward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm sure we've had one. I'm just not seeing it on this chart, I guess. But 1, 2, yeah. Wow, really? It's rare that we do. Let's just say that it's rare that we do have 5 red weekly candles. That means we're like over a month of going down month after month with no break whatsoever here. So I think right now we are going to have not a fantastic week, but definitely a decent week for recovering. I wouldn't really be trading Bitcoin unless you guys are trading with leverage at this point here for this week. If you guys want to learn how to use leverage, I got the link down below for Bitgate. They have the paper trading, all that good stuff. But altcoins. If you guys can find some altcoins that haven't popped, maybe wait for some altcoins to pop off first before you start looking for your own. But if you can find some altcoins that are kind of going stagnant and you're looking for a pop all of a sudden, if Bitcoin does have a little more of a rally this week, you can definitely go for that. My play for this week, as far as what I can see having another pop here, is I started to accumulate more Doge Elon Mars. That's what I've been accumulating over the last couple days here as we had these dips. You guys know I sold all of mine off at the last pop we had. It's come back down a little bit since then, and I'm encouraged to buy some more. But it's a specific play here. It's not for something I'm holding for more than a few weeks at best. Not even a few weeks, right? I just want to see if I can make a quick little pop out of it and hope for something better. Now, the last Gann level right here that we're looking at, instead of going back from the last summer's lows, we're actually going to the lows of this year right here. And you can see on this point, this has actually been really good. So instead of using the 69,000 highs, we're using the highs of when we ran into the 200-day moving average, on the daily chart. And that resistance was somewhere about there, 48,240, and then going down here to the lows of this year at about $32,933. So far, and again, remember, we're only using Gann fan. You only use the fans from after the high. So all this doesn't make any sense. I mean, it works, but it really doesn't because you wouldn't have had the levels there until you had this set up, okay? So found some support right here. Fell down. Once we broke down, it got choppier, right? We tried to break back above that. If we want to have any chance of going back up to 43,000, up here to 44,000, and retesting out this level of support for us as far as the Gann fan levels are concerned, we need to first, today or preferably tomorrow, we need to get back above this level right here and close above it. Specific about that, we need to close above that level. We may test it out and have a slight close above it, or more likely we're going to have a big surge that kind of just brings us way up above it. Then we're going to have some fun with it. But we need to close above it. You can still see this was a pretty decent level of resistance for us. And, if we're going to get to this nice land where altcoins are kind of popping left and right, we're going to need that to break out, unfortunately. It's not unlikely, guys, but, earnings could tank us like that. And that's my only concern about the market right now. Is the earnings reports tomorrow, afternoon earnings reports, they are going to cause some problems for us. One of the good things we saw today was if you guys were following the regular traditional stock markets, if I go over here to FinViz, they ended up being green. Hey, what do you know? Bitcoin also ended up being green, right? So that's what we're hoping for as far as today is concerned. But as far as the Gann levels, guys, that's everything. I have the video if you guys want to learn how to do Gann levels. I explained it pretty clearly. We used 4 different levels here. If you guys don't know on TradingView, I know a lot of you guys kind of just use it for small stuff. But if you guys go over to TradingView, you guys can always actually make new chart layouts. So I have I can make a new chart layout like that. Everything is back to normal, like when you first set it up. I don't even have to log on or anything like that. So if you wanted to, you could do that. And then once you have a few, you can go over to layout name, and then you could change the name, or you could not. I don't want to use this one right here. Yes, I want to delete that one right there. Leave. Okay. But yeah. And then I'll bring you back to another one. And then here is a, I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is for the trading tutorial I'm making for you guys later on. The Fibonacci extension. No, this is coming back down. But yeah, let me get out of this one right here. So let me get out of actually this one as well here. And if you guys have any questions about the Gann fan lines, feel free to ask. I'll take some questions a little bit here. And then if you're taking away all the Gann fan levels and just kind of looking at a mostly naked chart, we are still in the uptrend. We're still in the uptrend, hoping for a bounce. I know a lot of other YouTubers are talking about this. We talked about this a little bit here, but we're following the same pattern as we did Oh, can I go back over there? I don't want to do that. It's just gonna make it a little too small on your chart. But we're following a similar pattern here where we had a few bounces, then ultimately we fell back down. We have slim. We have an opportunity if the next 2 weeks are good, decent. We can get back above this 20 week moving average and have a larger move coming up. And that's really what it's going to take for us to get more excited about Bitcoin. I know a lot of people use the 20-week moving average to kind of determine bullish versus bearishness. You know, I see both sides. I think we're more in a bear market technically, with an opportunity next month to get back into a better bull market, if that makes sense. And I've been using a little bit here, guys, is the 20-month moving average. Again, we tested 4 months in a row. We've tested this out, and it looks more likely that we're gonna close down below it next month here. So that's going to be kind of an issue because, again, we all know the patterns. When you break down below that 20-month moving average, just bad stuff seems to follow it. But we're hoping it's not bad, right? We're hoping that because institutional investors, more money is flowed into Bitcoin, there's not really many good places you can put your money in any market at this point, not even real estate, right? We're hoping that people will keep their money in Bitcoin or maybe even put more money into Bitcoin. But be watchful of this moving average here. This is really going to annoy us going forward if we do break down below this, okay? But yeah, that's kind of the gist of where I see the market at right now. Really excited for earnings tomorrow. And then now what I actually want to do is I want to hop over here to Dogecoin because Dogecoin's been pretty interesting. This is Dogecoin's monthly chart right here. We just started to have a little bit more of a reversal, getting back above that 20-month moving average here as far as Dogecoin's concerned. It hasn't been on Binance that long, obviously. This is a monthly chart. But so far, it's actually performing quite well. And then if we go over here to W right here, look at our weekly charts. We hit resistance again, and we got rejected by it. So we may just need a little bit more time to cool off here, and maybe we'll get some more money in here. But remember, the only thing helping Dogecoin right now is the fact that Bitcoin is still relatively strong, trying to break out of its own trend line, okay? Dogecoin has a history of popping, then dropping. That's the way it usually works. You have a few strategies if you want to play going off of that strategy. You will either, let me actually show you the daily chart so you can actually see all these pops and drops that we have, seen, right? We follow all these because they usually pop and then they drop back down. You guys have a couple opportunities. You can be lazy like me, and all I do is I just hold my Dogecoin. That's all I do. I just hold it, and I'm waiting for something big to happen with Elon Musk, Twitter now, all that good news. I'm just waiting. All right. Now, that's the lazy way. That's if you have a lot of stuff on your hands like I usually do, and I just don't want to work on it too much. On the other hand, what you could do is you could sell your Dogecoin when it pops, like, when it hit resistance up here or the 200 daily moving average around 16, 17 cents. You could just sell a portion of your Dogecoin, not all of it, 25 to 50%. And then from there, when the price comes back down, this could be a few percent, this could be 10, 15%, depending on how far, Dogecoin comes back down. You can use all of that money and buy more Dogecoin at a lower price. So at the end of the day, you're not really taking home profit, but you're accumulating more coins. The only bad part about that is it's a taxable event because you are selling the currency. So make sure you understand that, okay? Now, the last thing you can do is just to trade the dips and rips, and so to speak, and that'll be a lot of fun for you guys. There's a lot of good opportunities there, especially if you guys like day trading. If you guys look at the 5-minute chart for Dogecoin, I mean, you had a big old warning, hey, big move up, it's consolidating, it's holding. From here, we can try to buy a little bit more, and then, there was opportunities to buy here, as well as the scary dips that we saw when Bitcoin was getting tanked down hard. If you guys were looking for a technical play, it was like literally right there. But I don't know how many people would have taken that technical play, especially with Bitcoin kind of going down in that kind of a slump fashion, if you will. Because I think at this time, actually, early in the morning, futures were still kind of iffy in the morning as well. So that might have predicted that Bitcoin might even come down a little bit lower here. But now you see Dogecoin coming back down, getting rejected by resistance, coming down slowly. If you guys are looking for an opportunity to buy, we failed the 20 on the 15. We're holding the 20 or 50 here. You might want to buy a little bit now. Not financial advice, you guys know, but maybe a little bit of a tidbit there. And then what do we got here? It's still going to be a while, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a while probably. Maybe some closer to about 15 cents, just a little bit less than where it is now. And you guys might have some good buying opportunities if it decides to dip back up. Be careful, though. You're going to want to see Bitcoin stay strong, and you're going to want to see Dogecoin kind of retain some of that volume there. So only small amounts right now. You don't want to chase this thing. Chasing never leads to good stuff. My average for Dogecoin is like 0.0024. which is why I'm so okay with just kind of waiting all of this out out right now. Okay, but let's go over the recap of what's been going on in the day as far as Ethereum, all these other large market cap coins. So we just talked about Dogecoin, hit resistance, is doing just fine right now. Massive day yesterday, down a few percent right now, but come on now, that was a massive move right there. Matic still holding strong as far as its support level is concerned, looking like it might want to have a good day either today or tomorrow if Bitcoin stays strong, breaking above that 20-day moving average and trying to make a run towards $1.45 or something similar to that. ADA, again, kind of bouncing off support here, kind of a choppy level if you ask me. Has a death cross here. All the moving averages for the most part, except for the 50, are kind of coming down, unfortunately. You're going to be hoping that this can have a little bit more of a return. If this was to come, I mean, it might take 2 to 3 days, not today, to be frank, as far as ADA is concerned. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that 20-day moving average just come close enough. So when we do break below it, or break above it, excuse me, then we're going to see a larger move. Remember, when you break down below moving averages and break above moving averages, larger moves, smaller move there. But normally we see larger moves here, larger moves, sideways a little bit there, not much, larger moves, nothing really there, only to kind of pop up above the 50, and so forth here, right? So we're hoping for that move, and you kind of have a little bit of a timer in your mind saying, okay, 1 day closer to a potential boom, 1 day closer to a potential boom, and that's what I'm looking at as far as ADA is concerned. Make sure to kind of pair that with your Bitcoin analysis, though. XRP trading down very, very slowly. Again, kind of watching that 20-day moving average. XRP. I think this is fine. I'm just kind of waiting for the news to come out as far as XRP is concerned, to be frank. I have some. I really haven't been buying much. I'm thinking about buying more, but the me being frugal, I'm just like, hey, if the market does really have a downward week and we do have a bad earnings report, that's going to be where I really start buying more small to medium-sized positions in XRP. And then, we'll see what happens down the road, but I'm not putting any heavy money in there unless we go sub 30,000 or so. That's when I'll go berserk and I'll go bankrupt just buying so much crypto. Luna is doing fine. It's a little interesting, you could say. Popped above both moving averages over the last few days here, kind of holding around. I'm a little bit wary of this one just because if we do have a bad day, you'll see this kind of shoot back down to like $88, which would be a pretty nasty loss, just like we had right here on this moving average. I still hold my long-term position, but I have no open swings on this one. I shorted it from here down to the previous support. That was actually a really fun play to do. But really, since then, I haven't found any good trading opportunities as far as Luna is concerned. SHIB going sideways. SHIB is actually probably on my list today of things to watch. If this breaks above the moving averages, I think you could see a 5 to 10% return on SHIB today. So definitely something worth looking at here. I would probably look to day trade this, not really swing it over multiple period of days. Kind of like how we had a big day yesterday, how this was a big day only to come back down following it. Big day here, only kind of go choppy sideways. Multiple day run here, multiple day run here. I'm more inclined just to kind of take my whatever amount of profits that might be or that might be and kind of run away from it. But as far as resistance here, if you're looking at SHIB as far as price targets, somewhere around this level of 2869 seems fine for me. Logie, my dog into something. I'm hoping the cat's downstairs. Logie, you doing okay? Okay, he's fine. Give you a little scratch on the nose. Sorry about that. Whenever he makes a loud noise, I'm like, I think my sister's cat or something got down here. Oh, my family's gonna move out of my place in 2 months since my mom's better after the stroke, so she's getting really good. So I'm really happy about that. In case some of you guys are wondering how she's doing, but she's a lot better after the stroke and getting out of the hospital with the infection, all that good stuff. So she's I gotta get her car up and running again because she hasn't driven it in forever. But if you go over here to SHIB, you can see those strong moves. Wait for a setup. That's what I'd be looking for here, but there is going to be some good opportunities to buy this at the moment. I'm really just saying, hey, wait for a chug of volume to come in. I normally don't actually have volume on my charts just because it's annoying to look at. I don't like the way they have volume on TradingView. It's just too big. But yeah, you're going to wait for something that looks more like a pump, like something like this, like a kind of an igniter candle. And off of that igniter candle, if go to Investopedia or just Google igniter candle if you don't know what it is. It's basically just a long volume candle fueled by like a longer candle, longer volume candle, and that's kind of a big flashing sign. Hey, someone just bought in here. Time to play. Kind of wait for that. I even think buying SHIB right now would be okay if you ask me, but Small amount until you start to see that volume come up. Most of the time here, you're going to see like a big spike, or you're going to see this kind of a gradual gain before the spike happens. And then if you kind of look at it from this viewpoint over here, right here, you can see how there's an igniter candle right here, or there's just a little bit, I wouldn't tell this too much of a large candle, right there. Could have bought, right, oh, actually, I don't even know, right here, I wouldn't say that. And then you kind of ride it back up, and there's where your profit comes in. I don't like the actual strategy for this one right here, though. I'd start accumulating right now if I wanted to take this play. I'm not, but I'm thinking about it. All right, back over to EOS now. Something similar. Moving averages right here, both of them close to a death cross. I think we may have maybe a 5% day as far as EOS. You could definitely see a lot of crypto rebound here, guys, and that's really the main point of the story for the day, right? We're still kind of, below the 200 daily moving average. We're not shooting up any there anytime soon. But, a quick little, $2.60 little pop up there, I think it's possible over the next few days, not one day for this one. Ethereum Classic still holding the Fibonacci levels quite well. Barely held right here. I mean, that was pretty close, guys. No moving averages anywhere near this. This has some room to run. I might put a price. I could only have like 35, 36 bucks on this one. Nothing really to kind of force a larger move. Only thing that would force it would be volume, if you ask me. Now, DOT moving average is fine. Have a nice little pop. Not expecting anything crazy from DOT. I have long-term positions only because Voyager offers 12% yearly interest for it. STMX, I have loaded up on STMX, a lot on STMX. STMX, Doge, Elon, and a few other ones. Usually those lower market cap coins, anywhere between $500 to $1 billion. I feel more comfortable putting my money into those right now, kind of waiting for a daily pop, basically. That's kind of my strategy for the day. 1 day or 2 day holds, I will scale up by the end of this trading day, though, on a lot of plays, and then maybe have small positions kind of going into tomorrow, if you will. And then also, every time we have these dips, I've just been accumulating more coins for the next altcoin cycle. Whenever that happens, I have no idea when the next altcoin season is going to happen. This market's been too unpredictable. The economy's kind of in a crappy mood. Just kind of leave it at that. But yeah, STMX is still kind of grinding up here. I want to see another big pop here. We know this bad boy loves to pop, and I'm thinking eventually this is going to be one of my larger positions is STMX here. I want to see this thing rocket to the moon in a few years, which is why I'm starting to, now I'm starting to accumulate for long term. I haven't started it recently, but, or past few months. I'm just now starting to buy this for more long term plays here. Normally, you guys know I like to buy this, sell the pop, and just kind of take my money. Not a lot of money. Every week, I'm just putting in a couple $100 until I probably get to 2,000 bucks, and then I'm just gonna stop. It'll probably go down if Bitcoin goes down, right? Then I'll probably buy some more. But if Bitcoin doesn't go down, I just got a good price. All right, engine broke down. No, this isn't a real breakdown. We were going from point A to point B. Yeah. Okay. I guess that works. If anything, I would say we held support here of the 133 and also the support level down here from a while ago, 127. I'm not really a fan of Engine Coin right now. Maybe a little bit later, but yeah, I guess I mean, this thing just came down so violently, and you had some buyers come back up, but it seems like there were some decent sized sellers in this market, shorters, whatever. They wanted to take their profits, and now, this is coming back down to some lows that we don't really want to talk about. It kind of survived I don't even know what you want to call this, an atrocious kind of head and shoulders type of play here. And it almost made like an ugly double top, but we really didn't get up to that level of resistance where it was kind of nice. Engine, fine. It may have a rebound, but I'm not expecting anything special. Fine play, nothing special, I guess I would say. Anything else here? FTM. Whenever this breaks out, this is going to be a great play, guys. If you guys want to buy this, I still think actually this is a decent price to load up on FTM. We're still towards the bottom of this trend line here. And if you were just to make it back up here over the next few weeks, that'd be like a good 16% profit, maybe even higher than that. But I'm trying to keep it respectable for you guys. And watch out over the next few days as well. Actually, if Bitcoin does have a little bit of more of a green week because of these 4 red weekly candles, a full month of being red, we should have a nice little pump up to like $1.18, which might give you like 18% profit or so from here. More like 5-7%. ICDP holding support and trying not to go towards all-time lows. Oh gosh, this is an interesting one. Excuse me. I would only trade this. I wouldn't be buying it. I'm still sure that I still think that Bitcoin's going to come down over the next few like maybe month or two, guys. And I think that's where you would want to load up on ICP if you did. But right now, I'm just like, stick to day trading this. When it gets close to this orange line, that's usually a good opportunity to buy. Even right now, it seems a good opportunity to buy. But I mean, if you bought at $6.25, like $16.25, I would have a stop loss at the all-time lows of either $15 or $15.75, which is kind of the body candle level of support here. So you have some options on this one, but just be forewarned. This is the chart that we're looking at. After all, when you kind of zoom out, you kind of put it into perspective, and it's like, that's what you're looking at there. Link doing fine. It's getting close to its lows as well here. I don't think anything crazy about this one in particular. It broke down. I shorted it. Nothing really happened after that. It didn't go down as aggressively as I wanted it to. I thought it might get down here a little bit faster. It took too long, so I just kind of sold on this bad day. But yeah, I think Link is probably a good buying opportunity if you guys wanted to have a shorter term return. Litecoin at support. If you guys wanted to check that out, that's fine. Yeah. Mana still coming down here, unfortunately. This one has not been performing well, guys. Oh, I let that steep too long. But yeah, Mana is not looking good at all, guys. Look at this. It already broke down below its level. This may actually have some more bleeding out to go. I think in the long term, this will be a great hold. But for right now, it looks like it just needs a little bit more time to come back down. Maybe, later on, maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe this is just the bottom of a cycle where we kind of make a move from here, kind of like that. And we have almost like a little bit of a symmetrical triangle kind of working itself out. Then if the breakout happens and you can buy. But until this breakout's really broken, I'm too nervous to buy at the support levels just in case we were to have a chance of breaking down, if that makes sense. I'm more inclined to buy most cryptocurrencies when you have the moving averages kind of all going the same direction and you see a full-on kind of reversal showing up, or you're just seeing you see how the 200 is going up. I want it to be flat or curling back down. That means it's going to take less time for the 50 moving average and the 20 moving average to break above that 200. You look at it a lot when it comes to things in the stock market here. Let's watch list. Yeah, we can go over here. Let's maybe go to the Dow. Go to the daily on the Dow. And you see how the 200 here, it's kind of going sideways now, making things a little bit more lively. And you see when people really started to buy back in here, it just kind of started going down. See that little downward movement? Then you started seeing people kind of finally start buying back up here. And then they're trying to make a move. I don't think it's going to work, but they're trying. And then going back over here, I know this was kind of a mad-made thing with COVID. But see how maybe I can kind of stretch this out a little bit more so you can actually see the hump. When we started going back down, right there, that's kind of where the bottom of the market was at. We haven't seen that curve just yet, and I'm hoping we can see it on a lot more coins here. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, though, if we go back over here, it is coming back down now. So I kind of do like to see that a little bit more, but it's not as accurate with Bitcoin, which is kind of why I'm annoyed with it. It works really well in the stock market, not as well with Bitcoin. One day, maybe. Well, Bitcoin is getting more and more correlation between, it's getting more and more correlated between the market, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. A long day. All right, the last few ones here. If let me see right there, that's fine. Elon, I told you guys that I started accumulating more of this. I've been doing this over the past few days, so I sold it up here. I've been buying more at support. I was only able to buy in 50% of my position over here. I had to buy another 50% right here, so I'm all back in it, minus the profits from buying down here off of support and kind of playing the balance. But I think Doge Elon, with everything going on with Elon in the news left and right, I think this is like an easy pump play, basically. I'm excited to see where it goes. The Fibonacci levels are fine with it. In fact, let me just kind of remove all these drawings. It's kind of cluttered all of a sudden, is it? We'll just do a base so I have this on my screen for later on. There you go. Trend line going up at the moment. Right there, about a decent level of support from over here, resistance, at about 1158 abouts. And I'm banking on us breaking out. That's what I'm banking on. Don't make a trade off of what I'm doing. I'm just hoping that Doge Elon has a boom of a day here where we could see it come back up here to some type of crazy level of 1673 or something like that. You get. So I'm hoping for that. We're kind of close to a breakout. I want to see us close above it, but I think we're in a decent spot to try. I started accumulating back down here, so I'm in the money now. So my stop losses are like down here a little bit, about like I think what was it, like a little over the 1,000 level here. So I'm watching it closely, waiting to see if we're gonna have a big pump. I'm hoping we do, but you saw we got above it for just a little bit, and we got rejected right back down. So don't take this as a sure thing, guys. This is kind of me doing some larger prediction plays with STMX and Doge Elon specifically, hoping to have some fun with this, and I'm hoping we can have some larger moves over the next couple days with these two coins specifically, just because of their history. Both these coins have nice big boom days, and I would like to sell off of those booms. If we ever if this has another 20 to 30% day, I'm going to sell everything again at that specific point, and then probably put some more into my long-term portfolio. But that's about it. I'm not holding these for like weeks and so forth. Anything else going forward here? Soul, fine. Old support. We don't need this anymore. Don't need that anymore. That's for that breakout up there. All right. This trend line I think is actually still relevant here, since it did lead to some resistance there and some resistance there. Anything else as far as this is concerned? No, not really. Might have a little bit of a boom since both moving averages are here. What's the last time both moving averages were close by? And did it have a nicer move? Not really. Nothing there. Nothing really there. Yeah, smaller moves. You might see a 5% day on this, but yeah, it should be fine, guys. All right, and what's else? Gala. Ooh, Gala's at support barely. This thing had some nice pumps, but this thing has kind of died back down. If you guys are looking for, something really cheap, Gala is probably going to be your bet at the moment as far as something that hasn't really been performing too well. Had a nice pop. Since the pop back over here in February, it's down about 53%. Feel bad for the bag holders over there, but there was a double top looking pattern, top. Once he broke down below it right here, I guess that was a time to sell. Or short, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll put some money into Gala too. I mean, when you see stuff like this that's this low and this close to support, you can have a decent stop loss for it. So right here, if I were to go back down to this low, that's a 15% stop loss. I don't feel like I need to put that high of a stop loss on this one. So maybe I'll just come back down here a little bit more. What was this low over here? About 7. Maybe I'll do a 7 or 8% stop loss with the opportunity, if it does kind of bounce back up over the next few days, I should be able to recoup. I mean, let's just say it goes back up to the 50-day moving average. That's a cool 22%. That's what I'd be hoping for. I wouldn't just be going off of the 20 here. But maybe I'd buy half now with little stop loss, and then when the 20 comes 2 or 3 more days from now, maybe that'd be a nice pop right there. I'll put some money there, and I'll show you guys if it made money or not. We'll just talk about it. You guys will see the charts just like I will. Okie dokie. But let me go back over here. So, and one last thing here, guys. We talked about this a while, but this is just for future knowledge, your kind of future trading career. You guys understand these little small tidbits of knowledge I give you. One of the important things right here is, remember last week, this was April 17th, so almost 10 days ago, 8 days ago? I told you guys, be careful, because we're going to have a shakeout, and we did have a little shakeout there, but the important thing was, after this trend line, which is going off after the body of the candle, they're not as reliable for complete breakdowns as the actual wick of the candles. So you guys will notice I don't have it on here right now, but normally I have ones off the wick. Okay, I'm not going to light this magnet tool right now. There you go. Off of the wick, this is more reliable than this one, and you can see that because we've actually come down below this line a lot of times, and we did not have monster breakdowns. Okay. But when I showed you guys that we closed down below this for the first time during this whole period, like months and months of waiting, that was a bearish sign, because now that we've broken down below it, the next time we start coming back down to it, it's not going to hold the support as nicely as we might like it to. And then you saw it, we held for one day, then we just kind of came down for a little bit. And then afterwards, that breakdown from there was about a cool 4.5% breakdown, which nobody really enjoyed. And now we're trying very hard to get back above the 20 and all that good stuff here. But remember that little tidbit, when we break down below a level, even if we bounce back above it, as soon as the breakout is completed, and by completed I mean we close down below the level on the daily chart, that's where you start to see us having a little bit more problems holding those support levels. So maybe over the next few week or so, maybe we have a low of this trend line down here on something more of like a longer flash crash, if you will. Like long wick, long wick. Maybe we're going to do for a long wick over here. And if you guys had price targets, that might be somewhere around the $38,000 level, $37,500 level. If you guys wanted to take another bite in here, wait for earnings tomorrow. Earnings are going to be really, really fun. If you guys are trading, I would encourage you guys to have stop losses. Or trailing stop losses, if you know what those are. Trailing stop losses pretty much mean that as the price goes up, your stop loss goes up. So if your position goes up 5%, your trailing stop loss will have also gone up 5%. So if the price goes back down, then you no matter what, you're going to have made a profit off of the trade, which is a good way to trade, especially if you guys like to open positions and have them open while you're sleeping. So if the market goes crazy while you're sleeping, you still have a stop and you could still have walked away with money in your pocket, especially if it went up before the crash happens, which happens a lot in crypto because we get, we have false hope that just gets slammed down by the shorts. So it's really good for that one. I have a link down below for BitGet. Use it if you guys want to start using trailing stop losses. I talked with them a couple days ago, and they're almost done putting it on their platform. And I haven't found many American exchanges that have that tool. And like not even Robinhood has that tool for trading. Webull, any of the big trading apps or websites, they don't have it, and it's such a crucial tool that is a game changer. And I'm really surprised people have not been barging the doors down of these apps and exchanges to get that tool, because I don't think many people have actually been educated on how useful of a tool it can be, especially if you guys have positions that you're holding overnight and you want to make sure that, hey, if the price goes up, I want my stop loss to go up. That way I'm not, stopped out or anything like that. All right, so there we go. Alrighty. Now that that's all kind of said and done, let's go over here. Bitcoin on the 15. RSI is a little overbought, but that's fine because on the other metrics we're fine. Oscillator bearish, but that's okay. There we go. Feels very small to me. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to zoom in a little bit more than normal. Let's go back over here to Bitcoin on the 1. There we go. A little bit of a move coming up here. All right, but hey everybody, nice to see you back again. Hey, far from broke can. Let's see, Square Bagels. My wife hopes your mom is doing well too. By the way, my mom's doing very well. She was in the hospital for like a good old month and a half last year, but she's like just now like everything's getting better. Pretty soon she'll be able to drive again, which she's really excited about. She's doing really, really good. Thanks for asking, my man. She's doing wonderful. We just went out for sushi for her birthday on April 9th. That's why I spent like $300 on sushi, and my mom was mad at me for spending that much money. But I'm like, I make money. She doesn't realize that I make money investing or how much money I make investing, because I kind of keep it quiet from my family, to be frank. My mom knows, but she never knows how much, right? My grandparents have no idea. I keep it that way. But, it's always nice to provide for the fam, right? There we go. And hey, Bird, no worries, guys. I always happy to help you guys out as far as the updates here. I did move my desk, so I have my TV behind me now on. You guys can't see anything on the TV. What is the TV showing? It's showing some type of road. Normally, what I do when I'm working and I want to see what's going on, I normally actually go to my home screen. You guys probably can't. I go to my home screen, and then I usually play my own video, which is kind of nice. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can see something like that. Um, I need to have 4K streaming capabilities, but I don't think YouTube supports that just yet. Um, it's like putting like 1080p on like a 4K OLED. It looks okay, but yeah. A goal for the channel down the road, which I think is gonna be really fun though, is I don't know if you guys have LG flat screen TVs or whatever it's called, the more modern LG TVs. Um, they have internet TV on them for free, and they just have a whole bunch of wacky channels. There's even a channel called Gusto's channel, like the cooking channel like Gusto's, but it's not even run by the people the Pixar people. I'm thinking of putting a Bitcoin stream on there one day if I can. I got to figure out the process of doing that, but I would love to have the Bitcoin channel or something really weird like that on LG TV, because I'm not putting it on traditional cable because that's going out of business. But LG TV, I'm thinking about doing that. I need to get a sponsor or something like that though. Got to work on that one. Okay, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them right now. A little Q&A. Good 40 minutes, kind of an explanation, kind of dry explanation. But guys, I mean, we're in a bad spot, but it could just be so much worse. And I want to really tell you guys, we could be down to like $35,000 today, but we're holding because the market stayed strong. Elon bought Twitter, or is in the process of buying Twitter, and that's really big news. Loki, my dog was growling something. No growling. But yeah, so we're in a really really good spot. We're in a really really good spot, guys. And as far as that, let's go over here to the good old Twitter company. If we go over to Explore and go to Trending, you're gonna see that right at number top, and that's even above WWE. Whenever I go to Twitter, I usually see WWE on top when it comes to the nighttime show. I don't know what about WWE makes people so excited, but it does. So we got Elon Musk over here. I think the it was finalized at about $44 billion. The Twitter board looks like fools, guys. Oh my gosh. So let me explain kind of how this worked out and why the board actually had to do something here. So we all know that Elon likes his free speech stuff, and he has a really good reason to kind of be mad about the free speech rules on Twitter, right? Let's leave all that aside and kind of talk about how he managed to take over Twitter, because it definitely was an exciting time. It pulled a rabbit out of the hat, so to speak. That's what a friend told me today. Um, you guys know that Twitter's earnings are coming up this week, and they were probably not going to be very, very good. Right? And Elon Musk, over the past few weeks, acquired a 9% stake in the company. He could have bought the whole company if he wanted to, with financing and a whole bunch of other stuff, by doing a hard takeover, by just buying up, enough of the company where the board's votes really didn't, frankly, matter. Okay, but what was going to happen this week was Twitter was going to have a bad earnings report, which means the price would have slumped back down, which meant that Elon would have been able to buy the whole company for a lot cheaper, and that would not have been in the best interest of the shareholders. So he kind of, a Godfather reference, he made them an offer they couldn't refuse, and it was just such a beautiful way to kind of play that out. He timed everything to go with earnings. I never even thought about Twitter earnings when all this was playing out, because nobody was talking about it. I didn't think about it at all. I never trade Twitter because it's depressing. It's a depressing stock to trade. But he really did just he just took out the board just like that. The Twitter CEO, I don't know if he's going to have a job. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, and then you have right here, Newsmax says Twitter tells staff their jobs are safe for 6 months until Musk takes over. Geez, I mean, you're going to see this play out on Twitter for a while. You're going to see people freaking out. I already hear people saying goodbye, Twitter. I mean, if you don't like the product, you don't like the product, that's fine, but I don't care if you're leaving Twitter, I guess. But, it's very, very interesting to kind of see all this stuff playing out. And then, you just see all the memes going out here. There's all politics and left versus right fighting going on here. Not going to talk about it too much, but yeah. If you guys didn't know, billionaires usually run most of the media companies that we all know. This isn't going to be anything new, really. I think this is just where a lot of journalists and people come for clicks and kind of self-validation, I think, right? Because you could always come out here, you can say something that's hate-filled or very loving or something, anything. And there's going to be somebody that agrees with you enough to kind of like your post so they can kind of, make you feel good about it. You kind of get the juice and the juice and the juice, and that goes for left and right. This is what Twitter does. He might tweak the algo. I kind of want to see him open the algo up to see what's kind of driving traffic on Twitter, because then I can kind of hack it and become a Twitter heir with millions of followers. I don't know. But yeah, so it's it's going to be an interesting time as far as Twitter is concerned, guys. We're going to keep an eye on it, but right now, just focus on Bitcoin. We're in a good spot for now. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but for now, guys, we are still in a good spot, and we're hoping for larger moves up over the next 24 hours, or let's say 6 o'clock, 14, 15 hours until afternoon earnings comes out, like after market earnings comes out. That's what really we're going to be watching for. I'll probably stream it, and let's say I'll stream it tomorrow about 1 o'clock Pacific time when the market closes. And I'll be having CNBC on my phone or something playing through my ear. You guys won't hear it because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube and the copyright issues. But afterwards here, guys, we'll see Bitcoin react in real time to those earnings. Or I think we will. There's kind of a debate on whether Bitcoin is really following the market, or if it's just kind of doing it kind of by its own. It's just kind of following it, but it'll diverge eventually. If it diverges, that'd be the best thing in my opinion. That means it can go up even if the market goes down because of the rate hikes and inflation and all the bad stuff going out there, right? But we're hoping for a very good May here. We're hoping for one. Still bearish, but again, there's a path forward for us. I'm hoping for more buying opportunities, but I've only been able to buy on every all the dips. Really, I haven't been buying anything else as of yet. Okay, but okay. Doge to the moon. I think there's a lot of people that are hoping for you to hoping for that same mentality, right? Everybody's hoping Doge has a good move, and I think people are going to be hoping that Doge has a good move if down the road Elon makes some type of announcement that hey, Twitter can be used as a payment option, hooking up to some type of Dogecoin wallet or something similar. I don't know the technology behind it, but hoping for Twitter and Dogecoin to have some type of partnership going forward, which would lead to some really strong moves. And that's really what you're hoping for, right? Maybe it can be sometime around the next altcoin season, hopefully. Any news that comes up before the altcoin season really won't help Dogecoin out in the long run. It needs to be kind of good news coming in an altcoin season or a really bullish market. That way, there's money kind of just swathing around ready to go plunging into a specific altcoin to make larger moves. That's kind of why I've been buying up STMX recently, Doge Elon. Because if you go over here to Coin Market Cap, oh, so I type in Doge. And Doge Elon Mars market cap is 623 million. It was a little bit cheaper yesterday, of course, over the last few days when I was buying it, but doing fine. But less than $1 billion market cap. And then you got over here, that's TMX market cap of 184 million, only at 4% today. Definitely hoping this can go higher. If you guys look at the market cap for all, it used to have a market cap of like 8-9 million at the height. Over here, it kind of went up to like 691 million. And I'm hoping for a larger move like that during the next altcoin season. Not right now. Right now, I'm looking for these like smaller kind of pumps that we see every now and again. Down the road, though, I'm hoping for this to have a larger move. And I'm hoping they can kind of do more as far as their engagement and website stuff and kind of growing their brand. But they do have partnerships. And when a company actually is legitimate enough to have a formal partnership with a company, that always kind of gives me a sigh of relief as far as investing in it for the long term, because that means it has utility when this is more down the road, guys, but you will see investors and hedge funds and those type of larger institutional pools of money. You will see them start to really pin down the coins that they can see for long-term growth. They won't be buying on them for years. And this is a long-term thing. They will not be buying on them for years because there's going to be a lot of regulation. There's going to be a lot of safety nets. They're not going to be, just kind of popping off coins and so forth. But when they do decide, you're going to really be focusing on those coins that have utility down the road, because those are the ones that are going to be stable for a while. Then all of a sudden they announce a partnership and boom, now all of a sudden you're a millionaire because you just managed to put like a couple $1,000 into the coin before it launched into, multi-billion dollar market cap territory. That's really the goal here, but it also takes a lot of work. So, that'll be fun to do the work on your part, right? Or you can just listen to some of the plays I'm looking at, but I'd prefer you guys to do a mix if you guys can. Because you guys usually find stuff that I don't know about, and I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. Hey, do I think Doge is going to hit $1 by year end? That really depends on what happens with Bitcoin. If it's going to happen, it'd probably happen in Q4, not really before that happens, unless something really major news happens. And even then, I'm kind of like, I don't think it's going to, like, that type of news is going to happen. Um, But yeah, it can. I'm not going to say it is because I have no idea, but I would say it can. But it would happen in Q4, kind of November, October, December type of things, or October, November, December, excuse me, or maybe even the Q1 of next year. I think it's going to happen, but it's just going to take some time for it. If you guys are trying to get Dogecoin, I wouldn't worry about the daily ups and downs. I would just be buying what you can afford to buy into it, and then have a set amount. So that could be $100, $200, $300, $1,000, $10,000. I know people that have like hundreds of thousands, no, not like tens of thousands of dollars in Dogecoin tied up, and all just kind of waiting to see what happens down the road. But my advice for stuff like Dogecoin, or most coins, in fact, you just want to put a little bit in them every week or every month, whatever you feel comfortable with, until you kind of hit a threshold that you kind of put up for yourself, and then you're just going to hold on to those coins for as long as you deem it fit. I tend to hold and wait for altcoin seasons, and I'll see some nice little pops every now and again, and I don't sell them. And then, unless I'm coin harvesting, so to speak, where I, sell at a higher price, buy more coins at a lower price. That involves tax problems, though, so if you're not used to it, don't try it. Or it's okay now, I guess, but that's because tax season's already over. But yeah, so but yeah, I think it can hit $1 this year. But it would be November, December, October. Elon Musk will put the Dogecoin logo by replacing the bird. No, I don't think he's gonna do that. But I would really like it if he did. I don't think he's gonna do that, but I would enjoy it if he did. What else we got here? Yeah, I was hoping sooner than that. Let's see. Oh, somebody said 2025. No, it'll happen before that. My thing with Dogecoin though is, I don't like that. I don't like that they keep on making new coins, but that's not too big of an issue right now. Um, I think if you had a price target of $1 and it hit, I don't think it would be some type of stable. It wouldn't find stability at $1. That's my thing. So if Dogecoin, like my price targets for Dogecoin is, I'm gonna start selling off at a little bit of 60 cents, 70 cents, 80, 90, then finally $1, and then I'm gonna have some left over that's just gonna kind of stay there and kind of see how far it goes up, right? But if Dogecoin hits $1 this year, it's not going to be off of some nice move like this. It'll be like a rocket ship that just kind of soars. Let me something like it'd be a monster move, and something like kind of like altcoin season. Monster moves, and it'll sit there for a little bit of time, and then it will crash back down. So that's why I'm scaling it at 60, 70, 80, 90, $1, right? I used to have a bunch more Dogecoin than I have right now because last year, I mean, I took a lot of flack for it from the Doge community, but last year I sold half of my Dogecoin when Dogecoin was rising up a lot because I bought it at 0.0024, so really cheap price, right? Low market cap. I sold half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. And guess what? It kept on running after I sold it. It kept on running. But looking back on it now, since I'm a guy that likes to just take my profits when they appear, and that means scaling out, right? I managed to rake in a bunch of money, and I'm not still holding a massive, well, it wouldn't be a bag, I guess, since I bought it at a cheap price, but I was able to take some profit off the table, and I used that to buy a bunch of cool stuff that I wanted to buy, right? Or more investments and stuff like that too. But, if I didn't sell that out, if I didn't have any price target to where I want to sell some of my Dogecoin at, I would have sold nothing, and I would still be kind of waiting for it to just get back above 20 cents right now, which nobody is happy about. Right? So, uh, Dogecoin's more of just a kind of a long-term hold for me at this point, but I'm encouraged by these larger moves. And I think whales are kind of slowly accumulating some more Dogecoin, which is making me more enthusiastic about the long-term prospects of the coin. Now I just want to see it have a little bit more practical utility and more partnerships, and I think it'll get there down the road. Down the road. No, I'm not going to have any good time frame for you as far as Q4 or something like that. There's no way for me to tell. I mean, he sucks at technicals, but Matt Wallace, Final Stand guy, again, not good at technicals by any stretch of the imagination. But he does talk about Dogecoin a lot. I don't know if it's actually any useful information, but you could try to watch his channel. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys don't like Matt Wallace. I don't like his technicals, but I don't know what he does. But what do you call? You might look to see. No, he's not going to tell you anything honest as far as Dogecoin price target. What am I talking about? But you can see if he has any news about Dogecoin. That's a better way. News about Dogecoin. Not really from a technical standpoint of making money, but just like, hey, here's what the news about Dogecoin. I would check him out specifically for that. Be careful of his technicals. They're bad. Leave it at that. But yeah, be careful of them. Since crypto is following the stock market, will it crash with the rest of the market in Q4? So in Q4, if we start hitting a recession, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, yes. Well, most likely yes. And the reason I say that is because personally, I think Bitcoin right now is correlating with the traditional markets, which means if the Nasdaq goes up or the S&P 500 goes up, see those tech companies, you start to see Bitcoin go up as well. If Bitcoin is going down, I'm looking at the charts and I see that at the same time the Nasdaq is down and the S&P 500 is down, right? So as the market kind of bleeds out here a little bit more, I think you're going to see some problems. The one thing that may help us out right now, and you probably heard other people talk about this, is where else can you put your money? Where else can you put your money? Because if you take your money out of the market and you leave it in the bank, then it's depreciating in value because of inflation. So your money's just kind of losing value, just kind of sitting there. And if you put it in the stock market, well, most likely the prices have been coming down. So maybe you're going to lose money that way too, maybe even more than 6%. The bond markets aren't too good at the moment. The real estate market isn't too good. You're already seeing real estate layoffs going on in effect right now because they're not needing as many jobs because everybody's not buying a house willy nilly. And then maybe mutual funds, but nobody wants to put money in a mutual fund right now. I mean, it's good for long term holders, guys, but right now you're looking for some meat on the bones type of money. So there's not really many good places you can put your finances. So maybe what a lot of people are going to do that may help us out over the summer here is just to do nothing and leave their money in these accounts. And maybe if you're a crypto guy, maybe leave some money in a high interest account. You go like Voyager has a link. Voyager has the 9% yearly interest for USDC coin. Maybe that's something you guys are interested in. But if the stock market tanks and gets more of an aggressive as far as a downtrend is concerned, I think you will see Bitcoin take a bad move down the road. But if you look at Bitcoin's chart here and just go over the monthly chart. I'm gonna go over here actually. I want to go to Coinbase one and then go over here. There you go. And we go over the monthly chart. All right. So from now, Q4, I mean, December is like really all the way over here. So we have a lot of months before that happens. My big worry, as you guys know, is that we break down below the 20-month moving average, have either a really fast breakdown, which will kind of skyrocket back up here, like we did last time we broke down below the 20-month moving average, or we have an okay May that doesn't really do anything, but following that we have a nasty move down, right? But either way, whenever we break down below these 20-month moving averages, I mean, we're usually having a rough time following that. After we broke down here from the body of the candle down to the low, I guess, well, let's just go to this low. We were down 57%. Breaking down below this candle right here to the bottom of the low, we were down about 50%. From the body of the candle here to the wick, about 40%. And then from here, we haven't broken down yet. So kind of a big old question mark as far as what are we looking for. 4 days left, guys. 4 days left. We're trying so hard to stay above this. But just from how often do we really see a bounce come up like that? Man, I just don't see it happening. But just because I don't see it doesn't mean it can't happen. And I want to let you guys know that, right? I want to give you guys more of an overview, not just like bearish blood news. Ooh, we're going down to like $5,000 or some crazy stuff like that. We're hugging this so closely, guys. But we've managed to hold it for almost 4 months straight. And in 4 days and 23 hours, it will be 4 months that we've held this 20-month moving average. I've never actually seen a circumstance we've held it this long. So that's 4 months here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're finally breaking down. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of a bounce, although that was kind of more positive, if you will, because we were coming out of a downtrend there. So kind of a new thing to see here. I'm hoping we can bounce off of it, but man, it's going back to the technicals here. Going back to the fact that the technicals aren't they're like 50% of what we need to be looking at right now. We need to focus on what the whales are doing, and if we see whales buying more crypto, that would give me much more confidence that we could have a good May going forward. We know that whale number 3 just bought 300 Bitcoin after selling 1,500 a few days ago. And so if we go over here to check that out, all right, large Bitcoin whale. Maybe there you go. Bitcoin rich list. Let's go over to whale number 3. So, he actually bought 500 Bitcoin today. That's 25. Yes. He was right a couple days ago when he bought the dip. Now going another 500 Bitcoin. And he sold at 419, and 419 was actually right here, right there. Sold 3,000 Bitcoin here, bought some Bitcoin here, and bought some Bitcoin here. I think he's expecting a little bit more of a pop. Now, this guy makes mistakes just like all other swing traders, so to speak, but he has a lot of Bitcoin online, and a lot of people like to trade off of his purchases, if you get what I'm saying. So, If you kind of go back in time here, the last time he sold Bitcoin was 414. Oh, excuse me, April 4th, and then April 1st. So we go over here. April 4th, he sold the Bitcoin right here before he took a big move down. And then April 1st, right here, also before the big move down. So this guy, over the last few weeks, he's been pretty accurate here. So if he's just buying another 500 Bitcoin, and he bought Bitcoin yesterday, right, as we kind of had a little bit more of a rebound, I think you could see some good moves coming over the next 2-3 days, maybe before we ultimately take another kind of a dip, because we are unfortunately having some lower lows over here. We're just really trying to stay above this trend line, guys. If we get back down here, I'm still not too worried. It's when we break down below this level, that's where you started to see some problems. But you'll also see that happening in the traditional markets as well. Maybe not as much of like a percentage-wise loss, but you will. But Bitcoin will kind of definitely outpace the dust because it's what Bitcoin does. Altcoins are what you got to watch out for. If Bitcoin does tank next month or it does have a really bad month, Bitcoin, I won't even care about it. Altcoins will burn, and you'll have plenty of opportunities to buy altcoins, but you guys have to make sure you already have capital on the sides to actually put that money in there, because you don't want to be stuck holding a bag, sell the bag, and then buy something else, because down the road, then you got to pay. Yeah, it's just not going to really work out for you too well if you try that method. Best thing to do is have your positions kind of already locked in. If you stop out of a coin, fine. Then you have that cash handy, but you guys are going to want to have some type of little, a little bit of a wallet. I have high interest wallets where I just have my USD and my all my coins, just kind of stable coins, just kind of sitting there making me money. Then when I need it, transfer it over to the exchange of my choice, and then from there, boom, I just start buying like wild. But I haven't found a good opportunity to buy like wild yet. I've been kind of nibbling through this whole thing, maybe some medium positions for longer term trades a little bit, but I'm waiting to see if we break down here, because if we manage to break down and we just go woo somewhere down here, I mean, really, this is all good buying opportunities for down the road, and I'm going to start increasing my positions more and more and more. Then if we were to break down below the lows over here and head back down to like 27,000, 25,000, that's where I'll go like, mega money, any money I would have ever put down for a casino, scratch tickets, whatever you call it, whatever those things are. I'd be putting everything in the crypto, and I'd be just letting it sit. Frankly, just letting it sit, because Logie, Logie. Yeah, the cat's downstairs. Okay, well that's fine. But what do you call we really want to hold this level if we want to have any chance of making a move back up. Um, I mean, if we have a green May, we have a great opportunity of going full force into a really strong bull market afterwards. But if we don't have a green May, then we're kind of stuck in a hole for like a few months, buying our way out of it. But that'll give you guys ample opportunities to buy altcoins. May is going to be the big month. I thought it might be even April, but April ended up turning into a whole bunch of nothing as we just still held support here. I mean, that 20-month moving average is a sturdy, what, and it's been doing very well for us. Again, before I switch over back to the regular charts here, look at this. 4 months of holding, 4 freaking months of holding the 20-month moving average. Unheard of. Unheard of. We don't do that. We break down so fast on this one. But again, excuse me. We'll see how this plays out. And you see right here also, we came close, but on the monthly chart, what do we have? Actually, let me do the highlighter one. This will be nice and easy. Higher lows. Higher lows. Not necessarily higher highs. We kind of just did a little wave here, so nothing really special going on up there. But higher lows, if we can just keep that trend, maybe we can find a way to reverse and have like a May that maybe is so boring it doesn't do anything. It just kind of stays in that same general area. And then, June is where we start popping off. That's something that could happen. But I wouldn't really be doing much unless I would see a kind of a really boring May coming out. And man, guys, I don't know if I can handle another boring month of Bitcoin. This is like draining my soul. As far as how interesting the last few months have been for crypto, it's been so boring. But this kind of happens, right? And just before, when I was trading and making a living off of crypto and options, I wasn't talking about it on YouTube. I was just kind of doing my thing, playing video games, going out to the dog park, or not dog park, but going out vacations all the time before COVID. Now I'm kind of getting used to going back out again and planning all my vacations for this year. But higher lows, guys. If we break this in May, it's all over. So right now the low for the month is 38,208. Kind of put that aside. Kind of keep that in a little lock spot in your brain. If we break down below that 38,208 and 88 cents by the end of May, you will most likely see a bad May in the first place, or a really bad June going forward. But right now, it's really what happens as far as earnings is concerned. Because again, we still have 4 days and 22 hours. If we had a bad earnings report, that'll tank Bitcoin's price here, which will, not be very good for us. But if you guys have been looking at any of the whale activity, we got whale number 3. We talked about that. Bought some, but you're seeing a market where whales are losing just as much as everybody else. There are lots of whales shorting, there are lots of whales going long, and they're both losing money, which is the crazy thing. So, and they're both making money. So there's not really one side clearly winning the battle, if you ask me. I think if anybody's winning the battle, it's like the shorts, but slightly. But you're seeing, if we just go to the 50-minute chart, you see where the whale strike is down here, and then all of a sudden another whale strikes back up, and then you see this whale that shorted it down here and shorted it down here. They have to get out fast, or they risk losing all their money, and they end up getting stopped out, because a lot of these whales are using leverage, which means if they don't have the capital to back up that move, if let's say they're just trading with 10x profit or 10x leverage, if it goes back up this much, they're down 40% on a position where they have millions of dollars in the line. They're losing a bunch of money really fast, which means they have to stop out fast and just get out and save their money for the next time. And remember, these guys have tens of millions of dollars, so it's not too much to them, but it does have an impact here. Whale struck us down here, and you're seeing a little bit more of a move now. You may see longs get liquidated over the next 10 hours or so, and that's really the spike that we're all going to be hoping for, as well as these markets are concerned. Because remember, I want to stress this again: Bitcoin is bearish. Bitcoin is bearish. We're waiting and we're hoping that either earnings or whales can pump up the price to make us happy about it. Okay, because right now Bitcoin is bearish. I've been saying this for the past few weeks. I'm sorry, Bitcoin's bearish, right? And because of that, we're really banking on whales to help us out, or we're banking on a good earnings season, so the traditional markets can kind of guide our hand out of this little pit that we've fallen into right now, right? So we're hoping for the best, right? And I think there was some African country, I don't know exactly what it is, it's like in the middle of Africa, like literally smack dab middle of Africa. They just accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. A very small economy by GDP, so not really a huge win, but a win nonetheless, which is good for the long-term longevity of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. So kind of a reminder for you guys, you guys can keep on buying every week, and like years from now, that it's just going to be out of this world, your profits. So just kind of keep that in perspective. I know we talk a lot about these smaller short-term swings here, but the real money is going to come if you guys just kind of buy and hold. But of course, you guys got to kind of wait for that money to kind of mature and get your returns from it. And until then, practice day trading, swing trading, and all of that good stuff, right? Okay. But in the meantime, Bitcoin just doing a whole bunch of nothing at the at the moment. Basically waiting for it to see some more action here. Excuse me. Oh, and I think did I show you guys this as well? Go over here to the. Oh, did I? There we go. Okay. And if you guys did see this, I know we do the Fibonacci lines here. I'm not going to stay here for long because, well, I'll actually stay here. We bounced off of the Fibonacci level right here, and that's doing us pretty well. As far as this Fibonacci level right here, we kind of blasted right through it, so I don't really see too much value in it. Maybe for day trading on the 15. We'll check it out in a second on the 15-minute chart. But now we're using this next level up here at about 40,300, 40,400 as a level of support for us. So I'm kind of watching that closely. We're running into the 20-day moving average here. If Bitcoin has a big boom, it will be a big boom today. We're kind of just waiting for that, of course, because every time we break above a moving average, we have a big day. And we're also running into the Gann fan level right here. This isn't too crazy of a Gann fan level. You can see we broke down below it. Resistance broke out, broke back down. We support there. It has an effect, but it's not as large as we might want it to be. Maybe if we go over here to the 15. Yeah, see, it shows itself on the 15 here, but we go back in time a little bit. You know, we've had our times where we kind of break back above it, a little bit of resistance, a little bit of support, right? So larger moves, but you see right here we were just kind of choppy. Nothing even mattered, but you saw a lot of crazy swings happening there because it was a whale fight basically. But you can see it's a clear level of resistance right now. But you know, usually when we see stuff like this, we have to take some time to gear up for it. We've taken, I mean, how long have we really been kind of staying in this area here? About 7 hours. Give a little more time, guys. We can have a big pump. On the 15-minute chart, though, just be forewarned, we really do want to stay above this 20 moving average here. Otherwise, we might be coming back down here for a little bit before ultimately making a charge up out of nowhere. And I think what would happen is more. I mean, we could either rip right here or go down a little bit. But I think either way, it's just gonna be going sideways, and all of a sudden, some whale's just gonna go like that. And so, if you guys are looking to buy in for many coins, that's what you're gonna be hoping for. But just remember, Bitcoin is bearish. If you guys are going to try to buy and play any of these plays as we're kind of approaching these moving averages, you have to have a stop loss to protect yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to get mad if the price tanks down, right? So just be aware of that. We're not in a really bad spot. I mean, we are in a bad spot, but relative to the day traders out there, you should be fine for finding some good opportunities here. The best bet is really to have like a bunch of things on your chart, and then from there, kind of just see what's kind of slowly building up some volume, and then you got to attack that specific thing. But man, that's going to be that's going to take some time out of your day because you're going to have to be actively watching it here or waiting for some type of alert on TradingView. But I don't think that alert's going to really work as well on that one. One thing I may do over here is we can check out the moving averages very fast, guys. What the heck is that? Did I put that on there? Logie, come over here. Yeah, come over here. He's stalking the cat. Okay, there we go. All right. As far as the moving averages are concerned, the simple moving averages. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, should I? There we go. Simple moving averages. We're still not looking too good. We're looking to pop up and break out above the 20. We could either have a bad day where we get rejected. This is just moving averages stock. Bad day where we get rejected like this, just come back down a little bit, fine. Or we could have a day where we come up to like 42,000, get rejected by the 50-day moving average. Or we could have a monster day that leads us up towards like $44,000, and we're breaking above both the 20 and the 50. You know, I'm not really looking out for the last one as far as having a monster day, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. Give this some time. We're hoping for some big news that kind of pops us back up. Whale number 3 buying some crypto kind of makes me feel a little bit better about this. So I'm more of the fact that maybe we're going to hit like $42,000 today, maybe more, but I'm not going to bank on it. Right, I'm just going to be buying. That's why I'm buying up some stuff right now to kind of see if we have that big move. We'll see. As far as the exponential moving averages here, we're not really close to the 20, as close to the 20 here. We're fine. It's still a level of resistance for us. Resistance, yeah, and so forth, guys. So waiting on that one. As far as this is concerned, guys, though, we're not looking too bad here, though, as well. And then where stuff starts to get interesting here is actually the DEMA and the TEMAs. So double exponential moving average is the DEMA, and triple exponential moving average is the TEMA. All right. And then we've already broken back up above the 20-day moving average here on the DEMA here. Still ran into the 50 here. That was kind of an issue for us. But we're close enough where we can have a nice little move above it. Not a monster move, but you saw the last time we broke above the 200 and the 50 here, we did have a really bad day. I think there was some other moving averages there as well, but we're getting closer to the opportunity to have a breakout above them. And they're also levels of resistance, so we might get rejected from them as well. That's kind of the gamble you guys are making today if you guys are trading. And then over here, as far as the team is concerned, you can see how the 200 is already down below us. That's how crazy the leveraged up the most recent day candles are here. What was that? Okay. Our major level of resistance is the 50-day moving average here. We want to break above the 41,265. If that happens, we'll also be breaking above the 20-day moving average on the simple moving averages chart. So, a lot of stuff's going to happen all at the same time, basically. We're kind of getting squeezed by a bunch of moving averages. We need to make a move sooner rather than later. And for this week, since we did just have 4 red weeks in a row, which hardly ever happens, and I don't think there's ever been a time, at least I can see, that where Bitcoin's had 5 weekly red candles in a row. I think we need to have a little more of a breather this week. Hopefully, stay above that 20-month moving average, and then from there, maybe in the May, we actually start taking a little bit more of a drastic move down. We'll see. There are some options involved closing up at the end of this month. It'll be interesting to see how all those play out. And of course, we have the earnings plays coming out later tomorrow here. Close this back out. Loki. All right. But yeah, we're just kind of well, I'm loading up on some of these lower market cap coin plays here, hoping for a stronger move to come out either later tonight or tomorrow, and then from there just sell them out or scale out a lot of them pretty darn quickly, right? Um, hoping we go up here. Banking on a little bit of technicals and whale number 3 kind of buying up. That kind of gives me a little bit more confidence over the next few days, not just tomorrow though. Let's see. Oh, Matt Wallace is a scammer. I see. I heard he's been doing a lot of pump and dump schemes, but I haven't researched any of that, so I never do something like that without knowing it. But yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff online that he's been scamming and doing pump and dump schemes to make up money. And yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I do know that a lot of YouTubers have been losing a lot of revenue because of the lack of crypto interest because the market's been so boring. And I tell you guys, the market's boring all the time. I think, remember, there are YouTubers who make money by investing, like me, who are kind of more boring. We don't have the larger followings, and some of us do have larger followings, of course. And then there are the entertainment YouTubers who aren't really there to give you guys the technicals and like the kind of the real story, like the dangers versus the risk versus the reward side of every trade. They're kind of there just to show you the reward side of the trade because the reward side of the trade feels so good, you know. If I made 2 videos right now saying Dogecoin is going to 0 and Dogecoin is going to $200, you guys would all watch the two. Well, most of you guys would try to watch just the $200 one, and a few of you guys would watch both. Or a few of you guys would just watch the bearish one, right? So it's going to be interesting, to see how all that kind of gets fleshed out. But yeah, be careful with Matt Wallace. I don't know if he's a scammer, but yeah, there's been a lot of bad, not press, but a lot of bad stuff said about him on Twitter as far as doing the pump and dumps and stuff like that. Down the road we'll see if it's all right. I don't know. I don't particularly watch Matt Wallace. Hey Monica, do you know why BGB staking is not available temporarily? Did you buy the BGB drop? I did buy it. It came up a few percent afterwards. I do not know. I will ask. I will ask after the stream. Shoot me a message on Discord and I'll get back to you. I'll ask the guy that I know over there and see what's going on. I don't know though. I don't know. I haven't looked at BGB today. All I know is I looked at the price, but not the actual chart for it. Actually, let me just check it right now. Um, big it. If I go to spot here, uh, it's up 2% up, but it had a rough day yesterday. Yeah, you can see this little dip that it had. I bought that dip and it was pretty nice. But it broke down, came down. That's fine. Came all the way back down to like 15 something. Um, yeah, I'll have to ask about the staking here because I have like a couple, I don't know, over 10,000, 15,000 plus BGB still staked right now. So I'll ask him about it and see what I can find out for you. But as far as the chart looks concerned, yeah, I'm still accumulating more at this level here. I bought more on the dip yesterday, kind of going off of Bitcoin's technicals. This is starting to follow Bitcoin a little bit more, which is kind of making me a little bit more excited about it for down the road here. But right now, the market cap is probably in the 90 million, $80 million here. Let me because the market cap was just at 100 million, I think, the other day. Yeah, back to 87 million. Good buying opportunity if you ask me. But that's if you guys like to buy exchange coins, right? Those different type of breed of coin for those ones. Right there, get a Whale 3, Storm X right here. So really just kind of hoping for some good days on these plays here. Where do you think Ethereum can go if Ethereum 2 is fully released? Gosh, Alex, I have no idea. I've been waiting for that for a while. As far as Ethereum, it's not going to have a major effect on the price action of Ethereum. When it gets released, it'll have a little bit of a boom. I think it's going to help out for the long term prospects of Ethereum, but I don't think it's going to lead to some type of 20+% huge move in the day like a lower market cap coin is concerned. I think Ethereum can probably gain 1 to 3% dominance more over Bitcoin, so it kind of just gets that much closer to the Bitcoin valuation, if that makes sense. But my price target for Ethereum is probably closer to like $7,000 in a few years here after the next rally. I think Ethereum is going to get like pushed hard, but it's going to have to rely on that. It's going to have to rely heavily on the Ethereum 2.0 kind of working out and them allowing the gas fees to come down drastically. Gas fees on Ethereum are a crime. I weep for those people that have to pay them, like myself. It's just not a good experience to pay gas fees, which is why I've been promoting BitGet to you guys too much because I have a link down below for it. Because what they do, instead of you guys having to pay the gas fees to buy those low market cap coins, they put those low market cap coins on their exchange, and then all you have to do is, um, they have something called Launchpad. So basically, you get access to buying them before they go on the exchange, and when they go on the exchange, they pop, and then you can sell them, and you get your coins back at dog hair specific quarters. So Q1, Q2, Q3, they kind of split them up, and then you just kind of recoup the money you sell. You make some money, and it's like easy profit. It really is the easiest profit I found in the market right now. Although it's you don't always get the ability to access those Launchpad items. You kind of have to you have to actually be an active user on the exchange. So you can have money in your account, but it's better if you have an active, you're trading on the account. Then you have a much better chance of getting access to those IPO coins or those Launchpad coins. Because I think the last coin I bought went up like 100 and something percent. I 100 something percent. The one before that went up 1,000%. The one before that went up a few 100%, and still up pretty good right now. And the one before that probably went up like 300%. So each coin has been a great winner. So if you guys want to try out BitGet, like definitely go for it. But beyond just even the Launchpad, they really do just have a lot of low market cap coins, and that's what I like about them. That's why I've been buying the BGB token, right, Monica? But I will double check on that for you down the road here or after the stream is over. Hey Ken, have you asked or suggested to BitGet what coins they should have? I haven't talked to them about anything like that. They're always asking for my opinions on stuff, so I could always ask, but I don't know the process of getting a token or a coin on an exchange. I could probably ask to speak to one of the developer guys and get some information about how it works, and that way they may help me, or I may be able to help. I may be able to help them help me help you, something like that. So I'll give it a shot and ask them about it. But I have not asked them a question like that. I normally try to stay on the sidelines and be like, okay, you know, only important stuff would I deem right because I don't know much about random token and how they do it, but I'm willing to learn. Let's see. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Ka. Ah. Up 6%. Trading View is on Trading View. It's new, so I don't really have much information on it. Hourly chart coming down a little bit here, so be wary. Yep, there price, yeah. Year to date. Oh, it must be really, really new then. April 19th, it just kind of popped up here. No market. I don't know what the market cap is here. A hunter's dream. Oh, decentralized financial payment network that rebuilds the traditional payment stack on the blockchain. It utilizes a basket of fiat pegged stable coins. Okay. Huh. I mean, as far as the technicals are concerned, it just looks fine. I mean, there's nothing really crazy popping off about this at the moment, so it's kind of more of you trading a breakout here. That's what you're kind of hoping for. But I mean, the breakouts here are just. It already had a false breakout here, right? So that wasn't too good. What I'd be looking for is to see if there was some type of level of resistance over here. I mean, little bit of support over here, a little bit of support over there, a little bit of resistance kind of in that area. And so you're kind of hoping it can break out above this level over here and then kind of bust out from there. Um, Careful with this one. You're going to really want to trade a breakout on this one, if you ask me. Other than that, if you're looking for a longer term play, since it does have a lower market cap, it's like number 2,863 on the market cap scale. You could always toss 20, 50, 100 bucks, however much you want to, in this for a long-term play, hoping one day it may reach a market cap of 500 a million to like $1 billion. And then if this is like in the 10 million, $50 million market cap range, that'll be a great return on your part there. But do your due diligence on this one, guys. It is ranked 22,863, very, very low market cap, very, very high risk, but the opportunity is always there, so that's why you don't invest so much money into it. And it's on 62,000 watch list here, so it's people are interested in. I guess you would say they are interested in it. You want BitTorrent to shine? I'm waiting for BitTorrent to shine too. It's been doing okay so far. That one's still a long term play for me though, and I'm mad that they still put more coins on the market. They do all that weird changing, but I only sold like 25% of my BitTorrent off because of it. I ended up putting in some other coins, but I'm still heavy in BitTorrent. Let's see. Oh, there we go. But okay, buddy, I'm gonna end the stream here. I gotta go protect my sister's cat. Loki is sleeping by the door, so she can't go upstairs because he really wants to play with her. Um, we're in a good spot for the week. Earnings can change that on it, in a flash here. So be careful tomorrow afternoon after during the earnings reports. Gann levels are strong. Refresh the stream or go back to the beginning. I tell you guys where each of the Gann levels are. You guys can put those same Gann levels on your charts or on a separate dashboard if you guys are using TradingView, and you guys should be able to find that pretty easily. Okay, so have a good night, everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening again at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Unless the stream at 3 o'clock is a longer one, or excuse me, 1 o'clock. Maybe that stream goes like from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. If it does, I won't be streaming at 6 p.m. I'll just be streaming at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Thanks, everybody, and have a great, great rest of your night. And Monica, don't forget to message me on Discord. I will ask them your question. Okay? Thanks.